the difference, it was tight. It was going back and forth. With 8 minutes left, it's tight. When they go on the run, I think you got as close as 3 in the final seconds. But what was the big difference in that run? Was it just making shots, then making shots? Anything in particular? What was the big difference there in your mind?
Just watching it live. Again, I think overall, I thought we did a better job taking care of the basketball. But I thought in that run, it was timely turnovers. Whether we got it and carelessly turned the ball over, live ball turnovers, and gave them an opportunity to play in transition. I thought that hurt us. And I thought when we were close, we gave up a few offensive rebounds. That gave them an extra opportunity, whether it was a 3-point game, 5-point game, we were going down to get a bucket, we turned it over, or a 3-point game, we had to stop it, they got an offensive rebound, and a putback or something like that. I thought that was the difference.
You mentioned Brown. I mean, was he just knocking shots down? Were you disappointed in how you defended him? A little bit of both, at least from the naked eye so far.
Well, at the end of the day, like I said, we wasn't going to stop his attempts. I think he's the guy that was going to get his attempts up. But at the same time, he was 3 for 11, from the 3-point line. I thought he was probably a little bit more efficient and effective inside the paint. And then did his job at the free throw line. But to be honest with you, I thought he hit timely shots. I didn't think it was we did a bad job. I just thought he hit timely shots. But he's a special player. He's one of the better ones in our league. But at the end of the day, we even changed it up a little bit, started trapping him off the ball screen and making passes to other guys. And then we relied on 24 and number 5 to make shots, and they made one apiece. So not something that they haven't done all year. But I tell our guys how we were willing to live with that, and those guys made one. So that's 6 points right there that we say we'll live with. But you got to be able to make up that disadvantage with just taking care of the basketball and timely parts of the game.
Coach, you mentioned their timely shots. It seemed like when you guys kind of needed that one timely shot when it was 2-point or tie game, didn't happen. What is it just not falling, or do you think it's some a hump to get over a little bit?
Probably. It was good looks.
Mm-hmm.
Good looks. Good looks. It was a one period that I thought we popped it around the perimeter and settled. When I thought we could have put it on the floor and got some hand checking calls, as I was fighting with the refs about that all night. But outside of that, we shot the ball well in a sense. From the 3-point line, it was like 38, 39% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we do. We didn't get to the free throw line enough, and then even the opportunities we had at the free throw line, we didn't take advantage of either.
I understand that Jason was sick after the San Jose game, but he obviously started, but he didn't score. I think it's the first time since the NCAA tournament game that he hadn't scored. Did that affect him at all? Or again, I know it's about there's a lot of pieces, but it's a lot. He didn't score. Did that affect him? You think, or just not falling for him yet?
I think he's a competitor, so he wouldn't say that it did. And I'm not going to say that it did either. I just think it's not falling for him. And I think it's more mental than it is physical right now. If he misses one, that may mess him up for the next 2 or 3 shots right now. And he just has to get back to just playing freely. Because again, we as a staff have not said anything to him about makes or misses. We still have confidence in what he's able to do, and he's getting in the gym. Like I said, in practice and shoot around or whatever it is, they're going in. So it has to be more mental than it is physically right now. And then I would think that he's probably putting unwanted pressure on himself, being a senior in his last go around. But we as a staff, communicate with him and just continue to encourage. The guys do as well. So when you think about it, time is ticking, but we still have time. This would have been a good one, for us in the sense of positioning ourselves in conference. But we got the next 2 at home, so big 2 that we need to take care of.
I know after the last road trip, you guys weren't worried or anything about being able to play on the road, but it seemed like the guys felt like they still needed to learn to do that a little bit. Do you feel like they took some strides in this 2-game stretch here?
I do believe we did. Again, in a sense of playing in the pit, which is one of the arenas that I think is obviously well attended, them in San Diego State. I think that helps within the process, but I didn't see any nervousness, out of our guys. I think we still play even keel. I thought we went into the game with the mindset of we were going to win, but in the process of it, timely turnovers, timely offensive rebounds.
First, you looked like you were doing all right. I know you kind of hurt an ankle against San Jose. How did you feel tonight? Did you play a lot of minutes? Did it bother you much? Did you feel any effects of it?
No, I was fine. Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, I'm fine.
Sure.
It seemed like, I think you were on the bench when they went on their run at the end there. Was it tough not being out there, and just from your vantage point, what they do during that stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough being on the bench. I needed a little rest at that point, but yeah, I mean, I always want to be out there helping my team as much as I can. So.
Brown was, you played against Brown before. He's a good player, and he goes for 33. What was the big difference? Was it just him making shots? Where you guys needed to, could you have been on him more? What was your observation of him putting 33 up tonight?
Yeah, he was definitely hitting shots. He was in his rhythm, and we let him do that. We weren't pressuring enough coming off the ball screens and just letting him get to his pull up. And yeah, I think it was him being in a rhythm, but I think it was because of us and our lack of defense on him.
I know you guys won here last year. It's kind of, considered one of the tougher places to play in the conference. Were you guys pretty comfortable, on this road environment tonight?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a fun place to play. I think we just came up short in a couple of things defensively, and yeah, it's always fun to come and play here.
Big, every game, obviously every conference game is a big game. Now you go home for 2, and how big are these games coming up next week? I mean, they probably get bigger with each one, but how important are these games coming up next week?
They're really important. We got to protect our house, as the coach just said. Just got to move on and get back to what we do and protect our house. So.
Seemed like you guys were hanging around the whole game. Just a couple possessions behind. What do you think you guys weren't able to do to kind of break through and retake that lead?
Just letting Elijah take his shots, and he was making them. Obviously, there's a couple key offensive rebounds they got, and a couple of costly turnovers we had. So all that compounded just didn't add up.
So Alex, pretty hot first half for you again there. Did they adjust anything second half on guarding your threes or anything like that?
Yeah, they made it a little tougher for me to get them off. Still got a couple off that I think I should have made. Yeah.
Yes, Alex, what's different? I mean, it's a tight game. I think you tied it with 8 minutes left, going back and forth, and they kind of go on a run. And Jefferson, the freshman, had like 5 points in that run. Was it just getting stops? What was the big difference where they went on that run to kind of distance themselves the rest of the game?
I thought we fouled a little more than we needed to, put them on the line. Brown had one heck of a game. We let him, kind of go off a little bit. We need to do a better job of trying to stopping him and stuff like that. And then they had another run earlier too, where they got a couple of layups. I think that really hurt us too.
It seemed like you guys were just there the whole game. Did it sort of feel like that, and it always feel like you were maybe just like one run away from pushing over the top?
Oh yeah, I feel like we were there a bunch of times and we kind of got careless with the ball. A couple of turnovers, a couple of fouls, a couple of offensive rebounds for them, and then they kind of were allowed to go on that run again, which we got to do a better job of.
You mentioned Brown, 33 points tonight. Marshall last week, for Nevada went off a little bit too. Was it just making shots? You mentioned, you could have done better. What could you maybe get tighter on him? What did you need to do better against Brown tonight, at least in your mind?
I mean, I thought he looked pretty comfortable coming in. A couple of shots he got in the mid-range area, a couple of threes. We got to do a better job of, trying to blitz him, give him different types of looks to switch it up on him so it gets a little tougher.
I know this team is pretty different from last year. Last year, you guys knew who was getting that shot at the end. When it comes down in these close games, is that still kind of a challenge for this team, figuring out who should take the punch?
I think that we're just trying to be aggressive. Whoever takes the shot. You know, as you said, it's a different team, and everybody, you know, it's more of a collective effort rather than, you know, we know when Josh is getting that last shot last year. I mean, we just got to figure it out. Just gotta win.